In a rare and highly publicised acknowledgement, the Prince and Princess of Wales have expressed their profound gratitude to His Royal Highness Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman and the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia for presenting a birthday gift of extraordinary significance to Her Royal Highness, the Princess of Wales. The Apollo and Artemis earrings are more than mere jewels. They are masterpieces of history, art, and diplomacy, designed not only to dazzle the eye, but to symbolize the enduring relationship, honor, and mutual respect shared between two of the world's most influential royal households. With this formal statement, Kensington Palace confirmed what global jewelers, royal commentators, and insiders had only dared to speculate in hushed tones for weeks. Over the past 48 hours, Catherine, Princess of Wales, became the recipient of arguably the world's most valuable pair of diamond earrings, gifted personally by Saudi Arabia's enigmatic and powerful crown. The announcement has sent shockwaves through the jewellery world and palace circles alike, a stunning affirmation of Catherine's grace, influence and stature in contemporary royalty. But these are no ordinary earrings. The Apollo and Artemis diamonds, once celebrated as the apex of gemological excellence, fetched a record-breaking $57.40 million at Sotheby's Geneva, setting a standard few diamonds could ever approach. Now, they rest in the possession of Catherine, worn discreetly during a private family dinner on January 9th to commemorate her 44th birthday. A quiet, intimate, yet resplendent display of elegance that only those close to the royal family could witness. The significance of these earrings lies not in their public display, but in the rich symbolism and mythology woven into their design. According to the Saudi royal family, the naming of the earrings was deliberate. Apollo, the god of light and prophecy, and Artemis, goddess of protection and wilderness, represent duality, strength, and harmony. The gifts mirror the qualities Catherine has displayed over recent years: resilience, moral leadership, and the ability to balance family responsibilities with the increasingly complex diplomatic role she occupies. Apollo shines in 54 carats of deep blue, ranking among the purest blue diamonds ever sold, while Artemis radiates in 16 carats of vivid pink brilliance, delicate yet unmatched in rarity. Each gem is cut into elegant, asymmetrical shapes, mounted individually, and infused with symbolic meaning that speaks of celestial inspiration and earthly grace. As symmetry and duality define their beauty, brother and sister, sun and moon, logic and instinct, the earrings now rest, in a symbolic sense, on the ears of a future queen, carrying layers of subtle meaning understood only by the most informed observers. Sources close to both courts confirm the gift was personally approved by King Salman and Queen Fahda, who reportedly see Catherine as a stabilising figure in European royal diplomacy. With King Charles II continuing his medical recovery and Prince William spearheading a renewed focus on modernising the monarchy, this gesture from Riyadh was far from ornamental. It was politically charged, a quiet assertion of influence and mutual respect. Crown Prince Mohammed's discreet visit to London, just days before Catherine's birthday, was shrouded in secrecy. Initially, details were scarce, but palace sources later confirmed a private dinner at Clarence House, attended by William, Catherine, Princess Anne, and Prince Edward. The evening was described by insiders as a night of symbolic bridges rather than transactional negotiations. Yet, the tone shifted sharply during a private, off-the-record discussion following the formalities. It reportedly made a series of startling remarks, including a veiled reference to Meghan Markle. A staffer present recalled that the room went tense when the Crown Prince paused on a photograph of Catherine at a previous state dinner, commenting, "She wears state jewels with grace. Not all do. Some borrow, then vanish." The comment, heavy with implication, left the assembled royals silent, a palpable air of unease settling over the gathering. Following the private discussion, Prince Mohammed requested an exclusive interview with The View, slated for release later this month. Sources close to the production described the segment as including personal recollections about a familiar actress at a private yacht gathering, where a pair of earrings intended for Queen Elizabeth II were controversially worn without proper return. Though embargoed until its official release, speculation has already begun to circulate that the actress in question is Meghan Markle, with the earrings being the now infamous diamond chandelier pieces she wore in 2018. These earrings, previously reported as a Saudi diplomatic gift, were intended for Queen Elizabeth II, but were worn by Meghan at politically sensitive moments following the murder of journalist Jamal Khashoggi. According to insiders, this is not the first time Meghan's name has surfaced in high society circles in connection with alleged misuse of borrowed luxury items. Just weeks earlier, designer Victoria Beckham made cryptic comments in a private setting, later leaked, referencing a borrowed blue dress that was never returned and how some individuals build empires on borrowed names. At the time, tabloids dismissed the remarks as trivial fashion industry chatter, but in the wake of MBS's subtle yet targeted remarks, observers are beginning to connect the dots. A straight line, many sources claim, leads directly to Meghan, not only borrowing clothes, but jewellery, access, and even reputations. Shocking new chatter suggests Meghan may have leveraged Princess Catherine's name or royal title to secure luxury items, including outreach to a Saudi princess in 2018, falsely claiming she was acting on behalf of the Duchess of Cambridge to obtain earrings for a public appearance. The House of Windsor has never officially confirmed or denied these claims, but the silence has been described as deafening in palace circles. In the highly anticipated pre-recorded interview for The View, MBS reportedly provides an unfiltered account of a memorable evening aboard a private yacht, long before Meghan became the Duchess of Sussex. Sources indicate that he identifies her as the striking young woman he met at a friend-of-a-friend elite gathering organised by a notorious socialite known for collecting future stars. "I remember her clearly," he allegedly states. "She wasn't yet royal, but she carried herself like someone who already knew she would be the statement." The subtle remark carries thunderous implications. Her access to power circles may have been strategic rather than serendipitous, contrasting sharply with the public narrative of a self-made woman hustling between auditions and off-camera deals. Most notably, MBS reportedly confirms that the diamond chandelier earrings worn by Meghan during the Sussex 2018 royal tour were indeed a diplomatic gift presented to Queen Elizabeth II during his March 2018 visit to London, delivered in a red case with the royal seal. They were never meant for personal retention. This revelation directly contradicts multiple public claims issued on Meghan's behalf, which originally suggested the earrings were borrowed from a private jeweller and later from the Queen. MBS allegedly expressed surprise and even offence at how the gift was handled, noting that seeing photographs of Meghan wearing them in Fiji came as a shock. The earrings first appeared on October 23, 2018, at a state dinner in Fiji, just 3 days after Saudi Arabia's acknowledgement of involvement in journalist Jamal Khashoggi's murder. Meghan wore them again on November 14, 2018, for Prince Charles's 70th birthday celebration at Buckingham Palace, appearances that ignited intense scrutiny in the British press. The earrings' Saudi origin, coupled with the geopolitical context, only intensified public curiosity and speculation, with MBS confirming both the gift's provenance and the unauthorised nature of their wear. The matter has been reignited with brutal clarity. This revelation goes far beyond reopening old wounds. It reshapes Meghan's public persona entirely. From the start, she cultivated a narrative of integrity, self-made success, and strict values. Her lifestyle brand hinged on authenticity, transparency, and ethical living. If Crown Prince Mohammed's account is accurate, Meghan may have misused royal connections to obtain luxury items while masking their provenance, calling into question not just one incident, but the very foundation of her public image. So far, Kensington and Buckingham Palaces have declined comment. Prince Harry has not responded publicly, and Meghan herself remains silent, even as #earringgate trends online. Royal insiders warn this silence is highly strategic, indicating a calculated approach to handling the growing diplomatic and public fallout. This is no longer a matter of gossip, it is a question of diplomacy, protocol, and the legacy of the late Queen. The revelations from Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman about the misappropriated diamond earrings have not only reawakened a long-dormant scandal, they have opened the floodgates to something far more damaging. The carefully constructed story of Meghan Markle's rise through Hollywood, fashion circles, and even the royal corridors is beginning to unravel in ways that are sending shockwaves through diplomatic and social elites alike. Whispers are escalating that the 2018 chandelier earrings incident was far from an isolated misstep. It may actually be just the tip of a much deeper, more calculated pattern. Allegedly, it involves strategic name-dropping, subtle social climbing, and a deliberate reshaping of inconvenient historical truths to suit her narrative. In the immediate aftermath, Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman's dramatic recollection of the yacht evening, featuring a then-unknown actress widely believed to be Meghan Markle, has reignited scrutiny. Sources from within the Royal Protocol Office have spoken off the record, revealing that in early April 2018, just weeks before Meghan's royal wedding, a Saudi princess from Riyadh's Al Sari branch received a message from someone claiming to act on behalf of the Duchess of Cambridge. The message requested the loan of ceremonial earrings for an upcoming Commonwealth event, a request that bypassed all official royal channels, bearing no signature, seal, or formal authorization. The phrasing and implied status suggested direct authorization from Catherine herself, one former aide revealed. The Saudi princess, unaware of the strict hierarchical rules of the British court, initially agreed to the request, believing she was honouring a tradition in which royal women lend ceremonial pieces to one another. It wasn't until after Meghan's appearance in Fiji that we realised there had been misrepresentation, the aide admitted. No formal investigation occurred at the time, largely due to rising international tensions surrounding Saudi Arabia following the Khashoggi affair, which left diplomatic protocols exceptionally sensitive. Within the palace, discussions were reportedly tense. A senior advisor allegedly remarked, "If the future Duchess of Sussex is name-dropping the current Duchess of Cambridge for favours before she's even married, what comes next?" The commentary suggests a sense of alarm at the audacity of leveraging Catherine's influence prematurely, a pattern that appears to extend beyond the earrings. Fashion icon Victoria Beckham may have inadvertently fueled the speculation just weeks prior to MBS's comments resurfacing. At a private luncheon in Knightsbridge, Beckham was reported to remark, "Some people think because they marry royalty, everything is theirs to borrow and forget to return. That blue dress is still missing." Initially dismissed as a petty jab or stylistic gripe, insiders now suggest she was referencing a sapphire gown loaned to Meghan for a 2018 pre-wedding charity gala, never returned and never publicly acknowledged. Worse, rumours suggest Meghan falsely claimed the dress was borrowed on Catherine's behalf, who at the time had just given birth to Prince Louis and could not attend the event herself. If accurate, this would mark the second documented instance of Meghan allegedly invoking Catherine's name to access elite items, both times involving countries with rigid protocol expectations, namely Saudi Arabia and the United Kingdom. With Crown Prince Mohammed confirming the yacht event timeline, scrutiny intensifies on gaps in Meghan's public biography between 2004 and 2011. Her official narrative highlights a self-made Hollywood ascent, from off-camera auditions and brief stints on Deal or No Deal to minor television roles. Yet multiple months in 2006 and 2008 show no verified public appearances or film credits. Her social media presence before 2011 is nearly non-existent, a strange anomaly for someone later hailed as digitally savvy. Reports suggest multiple international trips to the Mediterranean and Gulf regions during this period, with no clear professional obligations attached. Industry insiders allege that guest lists, hotel bookings, and introductions may have been quietly manipulated to facilitate her proximity to elite circles long before her sudden rise on Suits. If true, the carefully curated origin story omits crucial chapters of strategic networking and elite infiltration. The emerging pattern is notable: legal pivots, selective denials, and prolonged silence. When confronted about the 2018 earrings, Meghan's team initially denied the Saudi origin, then claimed the pieces were borrowed from a private jeweler before finally asserting they had been loaned by the Queen. No official palace documentation supports any of these claims. With Crown Prince Mohammed's remarks now publicly contradicting her versions, the silence from Meghan has only intensified speculation. Social media erupted with #earringgate trending for 48 straight hours, reflecting global fascination and outrage. Meanwhile, Meghan's lifestyle brand, American Riviera Orchard, released a New Year's video promoting lemon marmalade and handwritten affirmations. "We're turning the page this year," she declared. "Truth, softness, and light." Critics were quick to note that genuine truth requires disclosure, not erasure, especially as Buckingham Palace basks in global admiration following Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman's historic gift to Princess Catherine. Across the Atlantic, Catherine is adorned with the Apollo and Artemis earrings, symbols of unity, elegance, and divine harmony. Meanwhile, Meghan faces a fractured narrative both within her marriage and in her public persona. Observers note that the House of Windsor is navigating the next chapter carefully, where Catherine's stature continues to rise and her influence in diplomatic and social spheres appears secure. Rumours of tension within the Sussex household have also grown. Multiple media outlets, including traditionally pro-Sussex platforms, report that Prince Harry has contemplated a partial return to the UK, given King Charles III's ongoing recovery and rising royal duties. Meghan, however, is reportedly resistant, keeping the California Montecito estate as her anchor for both lifestyle and commercial ventures. This divergence of priorities has allegedly caused heated, private disputes. One insider noted, "Harry is caught between duty and defiance. He wants to reconnect and perhaps repair the family rift, but Meghan sees returning as regression, especially with MBS revelations and potential further disclosures looming on the view." Meghan's lifestyle brand, American Riviera Orchard, launched in early 2025 to widespread media attention. Yet the second phase rollout for spring 2026 is reportedly in jeopardy following a back-end glitch that exposed unsold inventory. Critics derided the mishap online, mocking the contrast between promoted values of transparency, honesty, and the alleged opacity surrounding diamond gifts. The carefully rustic aesthetic of her packaging now feels performative to some observers, a distraction from a growing perception that her public narrative may be crumbling. Catherine's global reputation, by contrast, is surging. Saudi and Gulf-based media, including Al Arab and Shark News, have praised her as a symbol of intercultural harmony. Diplomatic sources note that Catherine and William have been central to post-Brexit royal outreach, building trust with influential Gulf families. "She carries gifts with honour, not opportunism," one courtier remarked privately, highlighting a sharp contrast to Meghan's handling of Saudi-linked jewels, which are increasingly viewed as diplomatically clumsy. With Prince William poised to assume more sovereign responsibilities, Catherine's position as Queen Consort-in-Waiting appears unshakable, reinforced by international partnerships and domestic admiration. The contrast between Catherine's measured diplomacy and Meghan's increasingly contested image grows starker when considering the ongoing health crisis of Meghan's estranged father, Thomas Markle Sr. In December 2025, he underwent a leg amputation in the Philippines and is now undergoing intensive rehabilitation. Yet despite the medical emergency, Meghan has reportedly made no direct contact, no calls, visits, or meaningful outreach. A card and a letter sent through intermediaries arrived weeks later, but contained no personal reconnection, leaving observers questioning the personal and public ethics of the Duchess of Sussex. The emotional optics are staggering. While Meghan Markle continues to advocate publicly for well-being, family rituals, and healing through carefully curated branding efforts, the reality of her personal estrangement paints a starkly different picture. Her narrative of compassion and closeness to family is now clashing violently with a growing body of evidence suggesting detachment and absence. Tabloids have seized on this contradiction, producing headline after headline that contrast her public messaging with real-world action. She sells jam, won't visit dad, read one, while others were even more cutting, framing her as a figure who speaks of compassion and healing only when cameras are rolling. What is unfolding is not a sudden tabloid scandal in the sense of a single explosive incident. It is instead a slow, meticulous unravelling of a carefully constructed persona, an identity built layer by layer over the years. The recollections provided by Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, MBS, have recontextualised Meghan's past decisions, particularly the highly scrutinised 2018 diamond earring incident. These moments, once cloaked by selective memory and strategic silence, are now being examined with unprecedented rigour against the backdrop of her ongoing ambitions, business ventures, and public image. Even long-time supporters are starting to raise difficult questions. If she truly values honesty and family, why has the story of the earrings shifted multiple times? If she claims to represent family-first values, why has her own father remained distant? And if she promotes integrity as a core brand principle, why have allegedly borrowed and diplomatically sensitive items been wielded in ways that skirt proper acknowledgement? The implications of MBS's pointed yet quiet revelations have rippled far beyond the confines of Buckingham Palace. They are not merely about reputational damage for one individual. They have created an urgent, modern diplomatic challenge for the monarchy itself. How to manage the fallout from someone who retains ties to royal titles and influence but is no longer formally part of its daily operations. The palace cannot ignore the situation entirely, but it will not engage in public spectacle. As one royal historian observed this week, the Windsor approach is always measured. The Crown responds silently, strategically, and with precision, allowing its actions, rather than words, to dictate the narrative. Sources confirm that in the days following MBS's remarks, a high-level strategy session was convened at Clarence House to address the emerging complexities. Those present included Prince William, Princess Anne, Lord President Alastair Pembroke, Sir Jasper Hadley from the Palace legal team, and other senior advisors. The purpose of the meeting was not to craft a public rebuttal. Instead, it focused on three core outcomes: defending the monarchy's institutional integrity without directly naming Meghan Markle, preparing for the potential fallout from the upcoming View interview with MBS, and setting a tone for 2026 that prioritises forward-facing, modernised leadership. A source close to the session summarised it succinctly. They aren't worried about what's being said. They are focused on what comes next. The monarchy doesn't chase noise. It builds permanence. One of the most striking decisions emerging from these discussions has been the formal reclassification of certain jewellery items in the royal collection. The diamond chandelier earrings once worn by Meghan in 2018 have now been marked internally as not in active circulation. This means they are effectively retired from ceremonial or public loan. Their provenance is considered tainted beyond repair, signalling a quiet but firm acknowledgement that these items no longer hold the same ceremonial or diplomatic utility within the royal institution. Meanwhile, across the Atlantic in New York, the production team at ABC's The View is preparing for what may be the most legally sensitive broadcast in the show's recent history. The pre-recorded interview with Crown Prince MBS, filmed under tight security at a private Manhattan location, includes at least 2 direct mentions of Meghan Markle by name and 3 references to her reputation for taking without asking. Legal teams on both sides are navigating the fine line between defamation and truthful reporting. But insiders emphasize you cannot defame someone when the claims are first-hand and corroborated, especially when the subject has never publicly denied the assertions. Sources confirm that, barring last-minute injunctions, the segment is set to air on January 31st, 2026. The broadcast has already sparked a flurry of anticipation among royal watchers, analysts, and international media outlets. While King Charles III remains in recovery and largely absent from day-to-day operations, Prince William has stepped decisively into leadership, not just for ceremonial appearances, but also for strategic decision-making. His invitation to Crown Prince MBS to participate in the upcoming Commonwealth Economic Roundtable in London this March exemplifies the monarchy's approach, prioritising diplomacy, continuity, and resilience over distraction. This move signals a critical point. It tells the world and domestic audiences alike that the monarchy will not be destabilized by personal scandals on its periphery. Instead, it will advance through deliberate relationships, mutual respect, and clear protocols. Meghan Markle's past, once framed as a tragic or misunderstood royal tale, is quietly being categorized as a closed chapter, archived, contained, and no longer influencing the operational priorities of the Crown. Yet within Montecito, California, the Sussex family reportedly faces growing pressure. Legal teams are stretched thin, balancing the fallout from the View interview with contractual obligations surrounding their Netflix projects, particularly the Love series. Staffing at Meghan's lifestyle brand, American Riviera Orchard, has reportedly been reduced, with multiple executive-level layoffs. Sources suggest that Harry has privately sought guidance from Prince Edward regarding possible pathways home, though full reintegration into royal life appears highly unlikely. These conversations reflect a quiet desperation and potential personal and professional recalibration. Catherine, by contrast, continues to ascend in both stature and influence. While Meghan's brand falters under scrutiny, Catherine's public and private actions demonstrate a starkly different approach. Her choice to wear the Apollo and Artemis earrings, valued at $57.4 million and gifted by the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, not only underscores her personal integrity, but also signals her understanding of the subtleties of international diplomacy. The earrings themselves have become emblematic of her role as both a cultural bridge and a future queen consort. Even beyond the immediate optics, Catherine's conduct sends a silent message about leadership and character. While the world fixates on scandal, she invests quietly in meaningful service, charity events, cultural diplomacy, and support for families and children in need. In January 2026, she attended a charity dinner in Oxfordshire for families affected by cancer, accompanied by children who had endured personal losses. No cameras were allowed, no headlines were issued, yet the image of Catherine, adorned with the Apollo and Artemis earrings, was leaked, capturing hearts worldwide. The smile, the understated grace, the glow of the gems, these spoke louder than any statement could. It is a quiet but undeniable contrast. While Meghan's narrative continues to fracture under scrutiny and allegations, Catherine's reputation is being cemented through action, integrity, and consistency. The Apollo and Artemis earrings, far more than ornamental, symbolize the merging of diplomacy, cultural understanding, and personal honor. A handwritten note from Saudi Queen Fahda accompanying the gift reads, "You are the Artemis of your time," a phrase now framed in Catherine's private office, emblematic of leadership defined by steadiness and moral clarity rather than spectacle. The View broadcast, which aired on the final day of January 2026, offered a direct yet calm correction to long-standing narratives. Crown Prince MBS confirmed that the 2018 diamond chandelier earrings were indeed intended for Queen Elizabeth II and were worn without proper coordination or return. No theatrics, no embellishments, just a firm realignment of the record. Social media reacted immediately. Hashtags like #NumberEarringGate, #NumberBorrowedCrown, and #ApolloArtemis trended globally. Public sentiment, which once rallied behind Meghan as an underdog, has cooled into measured disillusionment. Observers noted the subtle but powerful shift. This was never about hate, but about recalibrating truth against perception. Kensington Palace, acting with characteristic discretion, updated the Royal Collection's digital archive on February 1st, 2026, formally listing the Apollo and Artemis earrings as a gift from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia to HRH, Princess of Wales, noting their role in education, diplomacy, and cultural symbolism. No equivalent record exists for the earrings Meghan once wore. Their history remains unofficial, inconsistent, and whispered about behind closed doors. The implications are vast. American Riviera Orchard, once touted as an extension of Meghan's values of transparency, integrity, and ethical living, now faces internal and external scrutiny. A major retail partner reportedly pulled out of a licensing deal, and multiple spring 2026 projects are under review. Observers note the irony. A brand marketed on honesty and handcrafted care now contends with public skepticism, all stemming from unresolved questions about integrity and accountability. Throughout this period, Catherine has maintained an unshakable calm. No interviews, no statements, no reactive messaging. She simply continues her work, letting actions and symbolism speak. Her repeated choice to wear the Apollo and Artemis earrings during high-profile yet understated events reinforces her image as a figure who embodies integrity, resilience, and grace under pressure. In doing so, she demonstrates a subtle but powerful lesson. True leadership and trust are earned quietly, not declared loudly. As the world absorbs the aftermath of the View interview, the contrasting paths of Catherine and Meghan are undeniable. Titles can be claimed, status can be assigned, but trust, credibility, and enduring legacy are earned through consistent, principled action. Catherine's story, now intertwined with one of the most valuable diamond gifts in modern royal history, reflects a future anchored in diplomacy, service, and authenticity. Meghan's story, by contrast, faces public scrutiny, fractured narratives, and a brand that may struggle to reconcile image with reality. In the end, this saga is not simply about diamonds or scandals. It is a study in character, consequence, and the quiet power of integrity. Catherine carries forward with clarity and purpose, her every action reinforcing the legacy of a monarchy adapting to a modern world without losing its core values. Meghan faces the consequences of decisions once shielded by selective memory, navigating a complex intersection of personal ambition, public perception, and international attention. And for those following every twist and turn, the story continues to unfold in real time. The contrast could not be more vivid. Catherine, adorned with the Apollo and Artemis earrings, speaks without words. Meghan, through silence and strategic omission, continues to wrestle with narratives she once shaped but can no longer fully control. Titles may be claimed, moments may dazzle, but trust, reputation, and moral authority remain earned, not borrowed. If you want to keep up with the latest updates in this unfolding royal saga, watch for live coverage, insider analysis, and real-time insights into how these dynamics continue to shape global perceptions of the monarchy, Catherine and Meghan. Make sure to subscribe, like, and leave your thoughts in the comments below. Every perspective counts as this story continues to evolve, proving once again that in royal life, appearances may shimmer, but the truth always speaks the loudest.